The next morning, upon waking up, we headed straight to the Seville Alcazar. Built around the same time with the same Andalusia Islamic style, the architecture of the Alcazar is strikingly similar to that of the Alhambras. The Alcazar is a dream carved from stone and light, its exquisite carvings etched into the walls forever, its tiles glazed in deep blues and golds, and its pillars and arches that frame the sky like paintings. It's the perfect balance between immense and intricate. It overwhelms you both by size and detail. Every single carving etched into the stone is a poem within itself. Every single detail, a display of devotion and faith. As you walk through the cool, shaded courtyards of the Alcazar, you're not just walking through a palace. You're walking through layers of civilizations: Islamic, Christian, Gothic, Renaissance, and at one point, the seat of one of the most powerful dynasties in European history, the Habsburgs. The Alcazar began in the 10th century as a fortress for the Muslim rulers, and later, after the Christian conquest, King Alfonso turned it into a royal palace. Fast forward to the 16th century, the Alcazar became the backdrop for a completely different kind of power. This was the age of Charles V. Under King Charles V, the Habsburg Empire stretched from Spain and the Netherlands to Austria, Naples, and even the Americas. At its peak, the dynasty became shockingly close to uniting almost all of Western Europe under one crown. But with great size came great instability. Fighting Protestants in Germany, defending Christian Europe from the Ottomans, and struggling to hold their empire together with marriages, not just wars. Their dreams of a united Europe never quite came true. Too many cultures, too many languages, and too many enemies. However, the Alcazar still stands, quietly echoing the centuries of ambition, beauty, and tension that passed through its halls. Even today, it's still used by Spain's royal family when they visit Seville. It's a story still being written. As morning became afternoon, we headed to the Seville Grand Cathedral. The cathedral was home to one of the only remaining minarets that were not destroyed during the Christian conquest. As we climbed its spiraling ramps, we could almost feel the weight of history beneath our feet. These very slopes once carried a man on horseback to call the faithful to prayer 5 times a day back when Seville spoke Arabic, and minarets pierced the skyline in every direction. At the summit of the minaret, Seville stretches out in every direction, with narrow alleyways and sunlit plazas, and a sea of red-tiled rooftops below, like a living mosaic. The story of the main cathedral started when Seville was reconquered from the Moors. The existing mosque was converted into a Christian cathedral, but by the 1400s, the structure of the old mosque was deteriorating. So city leaders decided to build something new, saying, "Let us build a church so beautiful and so magnificent that those who see it finished will think we are mad." The result? Exactly what they had said. The world's largest Gothic church was built, full of height, detail, and light. The Seville Cathedral is a masterpiece of awe and devotion, a space so vast and richly adorned that it feels more like a stone forest than a single building. The high altar, covered entirely in gold leaf, glows like a fire in the shadows, its dozens of biblical scenes carved with staggering detail. Sunlight filters through stained glass windows, casting soft colors across intricately carved columns that stretch upward like trunks of ancient trees. Yet what sets this cathedral apart from the others is the tomb of a very great and controversial man. Beneath the vaulted ceilings and golden altars lies the final resting place of Christopher Columbus. As the man who opened the doors between two worlds, where the four kings of the four ancient kingdoms of Spain bear his casket pridefully. Yet his fate and legacy could have been very different. Before his world-changing expedition, he was given a diplomatic letter intended for the king of the Mongols, in the belief that China was still under the Mongol dominion, a belief that might have sealed his fate if he'd actually made it to China and set foot in the Forbidden City. Yet a stroke of luck made it so that he was remembered as one of the world's greatest explorers to ever live.